For decades, the mysterious decline of Neolithic agricultural societies in Europe has baffled archaeologists, geneticists, and historians. These cultures, responsible for monuments such as Stonehenge and for bringing agriculture to the north of the continent, flourished for millennia. However, some 5,000 years ago, they began to disappear without leaving a clear explanation. Before continuing, I invite you to subscribe to our channel and give like to this video. Your support is fundamental to continue creating interesting content about history and archaeology. Now, a study published in Nature and led by researchers from the Geogenetics Center of the University of Copenhagen raises a possibility as disturbing as revealing. An ancestral strain of plague could have sown the collapse of these communities long before what was believed. This finding offers a new perspective on the decline of these societies. The team analyzed the DNA extracted from teeth and bones of 108 people buried in megalithic tombs in Sweden and a stone cyst in Denmark. The remains, carefully selected for their good state of preservation, belonged to individuals who lived between the years 5,300 and 4,900 before the present. The surprise came by detecting traces of Yersinia pestis, the bacterium causing the plague, in 17% of the bodies studied. Far from being an isolated presence, the plague was widely distributed geographically, and even more disturbing, had infiltrated into multiple generations of the same family, affecting separated members for more than a century. Although ancient cases of plague have already been documented in Europe, this study is the first to provide massive, structured, and highly genetically resolved evidence of pathogen circulation among entire Neolithic communities. This changes our understanding of the history of these societies. The Neolithic Revolution transformed Europe. From scattered hunter-gatherer groups, it was passed to organized communities in permanent villages, with monumental livestock, crops, and funeral structures. However, these conditions could have been the perfect breeding ground for disease transmission. DNA tests show that the strain detected lacked YMT, the gene that allows the plague to survive in the intestine of fleas. This suggests that transmission was not produced by animal vectors, but probably by direct contact between humans or even by oral fecal means, such as in cholera epidemics or typhus. One of the most impressive findings was the reconstruction of a family of 6 generations buried in the tomb of Fralsagården in Sweden. Several of its members died, with signs of plague infection, indicating intermittent outbreaks separated for decades. The decline of these populations coincides with the end of the culture known as TRB, which gave way to new migratory waves. This study shows that pestilence was actively circulating in these human nuclei during the collapse, changing our interpretation of historical events. The most important thing about this discovery is that it breaks with a narrative established for centuries, that the great epidemics began with the contact between East and West. This new scenario shows that the plague was already circulating in Europe thousands of years before.